Are you fucking kidding me? I love technology. Hello and welcome to Raw Impressions, everyone. Listen to part 2 of the conversation between Adelle and Lizz Winstead. They were talking about Minneapolis, and now they're going to be talking about women's reproductive rights. Lou pops in here and there with some sort of paranoid energy, and then he fades away, which is for the best. Please enjoy. Thank you for listening to this part 2 of the Lizz Winstead conversation. Commencing in 3 snaps.
Worst political fights I had was when Hillary was running, and I got into fights with, lefties about it. It made me so crazy I couldn't. It was nuts.
I know. It's kind of like the thing that I've never understood. And again, maybe it's just because living in a world where you're not given any some weird opportunity to vote for a world that you wished you lived in rather than the world that we live in. It's look, this is what we got.
Exactly.
And a lesser evil, it has the words lesser in it. So I'm for the lesser part.
Totally.
So, right?
Yeah, if my body might still be mine too. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, I don't know. Now we're just
fuck?
brood mares, and if we can't be a brood mare anymore, then I guess J.D. Vance said, when he said that about his mother-in-law, hey, the added bonus of marrying an immigrant woman is you get her mother who will take care of your kids. It's oh my God, you fucking monster.
That man.
On top of all of it. I know. Yeah.
See, I have to cover my face when I just even think about him.
I love that you're covering your face. It's like
That
when
was
you
like an
duck,
instinct.
when you go
I
under
just-
a thing in the car.
It was like I see something really bad. I gotta, oh God, no. Just thinking about him.
I know. I like that you're covering your eyes and not your ears. You're I'm going to cover my eyes from the thing you are saying.
Because I'm a woman and we know we got to keep listening because we can see anyway. You know what I mean?
True.
We have eyes
That's
everywhere, but
Right.
God.
That's hilarious.
Honest to Pete, what was I just gonna say, Liz? Well, okay, Lou, you should talk. You poor thing. You've been, where have you been, hon? Upstairs, downstairs. Now you're back. What's going on in your heart right now with all of this stupid?
Okay, I was very premature in my anxiety attacks because I would be ranting in the kitchen going, they're going to be in the streets. They're going to hire all the Proud Boys. They're going to pull in all the fucking Boogaloo Boys and the KKK, and they're going to create a big secret army. And I was raging around the kitchen in 2016. And Adele's like, take it easy. And I'm like, no.
Lou, you're probably saying something super profound.
Yeah.
And we can't hear you.
You can't hear me. I think I'm just not meant to be talking right now. So
They can't hear you, buddy.
go ahead.
Still can't hear you.
Are you back? Oh, wait. Oh no, he left again. I know what he was doing, and he was telling you his from childhood on, and you'll get to hear it when you hear the podcast. But he's been living in paranoid hell since he was basically born because, he remembers basically being in a crib, and his parents talking about nuclear war and, just creating fear, and he was also raised Roman Catholic and
Same.
he was, he had to fucking go into a church basement and watch abortion videos as a kid. And that.
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding?
I
mean, I got pregnant the first time I ever had sex in high school.
Oh, Jesus.
And then secret, crazy, abusive boyfriend. And I went to one of those fake clinics, that pretends that they're an abortion clinic. And then they show you the pictures of the fetuses.
Oh, my God. In Minnesota?
In Minnesota. And I remember the woman saying, there's a couple of really manipulative things. The first thing she said was, abortion's against our law. And
law.
she said our law, right? But what did I hear? The law, right? So then I
Yeah.
think I'm going to her and she's going to turn me into the cops. And then I'm freaking out. And then she just slut shamed the shit out of me. And then she scared me because they weren't going to give me information about how to get an abortion. And so I said, I'm just going to go and think about it, And I walked to the door and she goes, just remember, your options are mommy or murder. And I was like, holy shit, right? And so, but the interesting thing about that is I ended up getting an abortion, and like I'm a big proponent of independent abortion providers. Planned Parenthood is great. I love Planned Parenthood, but it's really the independent community clinics that are the ones that are really staying on, fighting the fights in almost all the lawsuits, and they're great. And the place that I ended up going in high school, I'm now on the board of.
Really?
And the owner of the clinic, the woman that took it over is a dear friend. And it's kind of incredible the way that shifts out.
Jesus.
And it's part of the reason that I'm here also in Minnesota was that I really wanted to have a presence in a state that was providing haven care for travelers who are coming. And last year in Minnesota, this is just a startling statistic, but 30% of the abortions performed at this clinic were from people from Texas. So, and the reason is that it takes, right? And because to get the road from Texas to get to Minnesota is either paved with other states that have banned abortion or states that are along the way that have six-week waitings so people can't get care there. So it takes them, and that's a 24-hour drive just for anybody straight up I-35 to get to us. I think it's 24 hours. It might not be that, but I think it is, to get to us. And so that's what's up, Wow. And as we sit in this crisis of authoritarianism, y'all know there's so much other shit going on that's not even hitting the news that we're not even aware of because we're just like self-focused on, all sorts of other things. And so I think it's like super important to, if there's issues you care about, like I'm super proud of the work we do at Abortion Access Front. We have a podcast every Friday where we keep people up to date on all of the things to do with reproductive health and abortion rights and reproductive rights because it's just not making anywhere in the media. So it's called Feminist Buzzkills. It's funny. It's smart. It's sort of like the Daily Show for abortion. So if that's your jam, come on.
I just listened to it yesterday, and I started following the podcast yesterday and listening to it yesterday.
Oh, great.
And it's fucking
Awesome.
Amazing. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And so, we're out on the ground a lot. Like we've spent the past 10 years tracking down a lot of these fascists that are out in front of the clinics. And like something that is really amazing about the work that we do is what part of our work is, my background is I do stand up, I'm a comedy writer, I'm a comedy person. And then I'm also kind of been an activist, like kind of in my life all the time. So I wanted to combine all these things. So we travel around the country doing comedy and music shows in cities and states that have clinics and cities and states that have clinics where folks aren't coming in to do shows for them. And through the course of our shows, we create this whole environment where the activists in that town and the providers in that town come on stage and have a conversation with us. And then we tell the audience what they need, and the audience signs up right in the room to be part of those activist communities and to help out the clinics. And then we choose, when we go to the clinic ahead of time, we find out what they need, because this is something that a lot of folks don't know, is that if you're providing abortion care in a community that might be hostile to you, you can't get a plumber. You can't get somebody to fix your fence. You can't get somebody to paint your clinic because you provide abortion, and that establishment will get targeted, picketed, and whatever. And so we go in and do as much as we can So our team is like also comedians, but also people who like are master gardeners, who know how to paint, who know how to do all this shit, right? And then we get some local activists to like help us redo their waiting room, or get a person to fix their fence, or we fix their fence. And then we tell people on stage, like, is there a plumber in this audience? And someone will raise their hand, and it's like, do you understand that activism can be, you just show up with your van that says Bob's Plumbing outside of the clinic, and you're saying, I'm happy they're in our community, and then more people would support. Maybe you'll lose some clients, but you'll gain some clients. And so that's part of like our work, is doing shows and doing clinic work. And so as I was explaining earlier, part of going on tour with Jason and Michael has been a huge financial burden for us to not have to pull a show together. But what they've invited us to do is, the clinic and us, who is local to the community, have tables at their shows, and then we go to the clinic the next day and we do work for them. Wow. So it's been this really incredible opportunity to talk to a whole group of folks who are out for a night out, who might care but didn't know how they had to care. And for them to like literally break up their show. I go on stage for 3 minutes. I'm not ruining anybody's good time, trust me. But to even like invite that to the stage, to say, here's Liz, we love her, here's what the poster money's going to. And then to be able to say in each community, hey, Austin, Texas, we're here because this group of people is trying to get people out of Texas to get their abortions in other states. Your poster money is going to help support that. It really means a lot for the community seeing the show, and so it's really great.
That's incredible. And I really want to highlight one thing you said that I think I know that there's a lot of people who maybe feel very scared by what could be considered activism that is very like outward facing. Do you know what I mean? Or forward facing. And they're like, I'm on the street, or I've got my sign and I'm doing this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I really love that you pointed out that activism also can look like how you show up in ways that like it maybe doesn't even have like a picket sign, but someone is going, I'm going to fix the plumbing here at this clinic to make sure this place is functioning. That's how I can show up. And I really hope that I kind of hope that message actually gets a little stronger in the world, because I think that there can be a little bit of like us versus them, and sort of this like idea that if you're not doing, activism in this way, you're not doing enough. And I'm like, I'm tired of us shooting ourselves in the foot on the left, and kind of like over nitpicking each other till we die, and going like, we can't even fucking like, get a person in the office because we can't agree, because we're all so right. We're all so correct, right? That we can't like fucking come together and just go like, you know what? Let's just come to fucking together. And I think that like, maybe Bob's going to just be the plumber who fixes that. Let him do that. It helps. It adds,
And that's what, and so Minnesota, I think, is maybe like, again, dumb shits came to Minnesota first. But like in people watching what's happening in Minnesota, and it's part of the ethos of Abortion Access Front too, is that our lines are open. When you sign up to volunteer, you get a call from somebody on my team that literally interviews you to find out who you are, so that you don't have to feel like, if you're not a front-facing person, like, I'm a big loudmouth. I'm out on the street. I will be right up in the face of some white supremacist and being like, die in a fire, fuck you. Like, I'll quote the Bible right back at you. Don't even talk to me about it. But also, like, we make care packages for patients who have traveled a long way alone, so you can be part of a care package assembly team with your friends. You can be, you can bake cookies for the providers. You can be somebody who walks a patient into the clinic. Maybe you're somebody who could answer a call on a hotline and give somebody information. Like there's a jillion ways to show up that doesn't mean you have to do that other thing. And it's like you said, Bob the plumber, or like, oh, you know what? I can go check in on those people 4 times a year to find out how's everything working. I'm like kind of a handyman. Do you need a new lock on your thing? Do you need some, or whatever it is, right? And Minnesota's aid that has been set up around what's happening with ICE. Like I go pack like people make deliveries and I'll separate out the bags and then people come to bring the food to the people who can't leave their house. And there's people who are either have like disabilities or elderly who are there like doing some of that. And some people are just like writing notes of support to put in the packages because that's like what they're able to do. And the one thing I want to say that has been incredibly moving, and I think it might be the biggest shining thing that's happened in this awfulness, is that folks who have been shut in here, especially in the winter, folks who have had a hard time finding community, or maybe in these months where it's cold here, have not been able to engage. They're out and they're now in community and they're doing something meaningful. And I think these relationships are going to be lasting because people are also like picking up people who want to help, but maybe don't have a car. Right. Yeah. And so it's creating not just let's go to bingo night because that's what's offered to you, but it's creating opportunities for human interaction that gives people a menu of things to do rather than just telling old people they like bingo or they like whatever the fuck they're supposed to like, guess what? People can go for walks and sometimes they want to go to protests. It's invigorating to be in the cold. Scandinavians live a long time walking around, rolling in snow and going into saunas. Like they have some shit going on, right? I mean,
yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Oh, sure.
You betcha.
Also, you guys, let me tell you what. Here's my whole thing, though, that was kind of hilarious when ICE came. I literally thought they would leave in like 15 minutes because if you've ever been to Minnesota,
oh my God.
Look, I love my people, but they will tell you the fucking most boring story that will go on and on with every detail. Like, I was going to have breakfast and I opened up the fridge and I'm like, I don't know if that milk's cold. Who wants to try it? I don't. So I was like, well, I have cereal. Do I want to try them? The long talk boredom should have chased ICE to the borders. I can't fucking think these people.
Oh my gosh.
But
yes, the long goodbye. We can never leave someone's fucking house. We're just like,
no.
Gee, then you know what I forgot to mention?
Yeah, some crazy recipe nobody asked for, or whatever it is, right? And so I was like, and it's also really funny to watch the stamina of people being like, we don't want you here, get out, we hate you, get out, fuck ICE, get out, goodbye, we hate you, get out. And it's like, oh my God, it's too much.
I know, I literally saw basically what you just did, this like grandma on Instagram.
He was the best. Grandma who was like,
she's like, what the hell? This is terrible. Get out. Just come on.
My favorite thing about her was the interviewer was like, she's like literally been tear gassed in her face.
Yeah.
And the interviewer's like, are you okay? And she goes, I'll be fine. And then she goes, why is my mascara running? It was so great.
It's like
my hero.
Don't fuck with Minnesotans, man. They're just gonna stand there. They're just gonna stand there and they're gonna just not shut up about it and goddamn it, link arms and make some noise,
Yeah.
Shit.
I know. I'm not a sport ball person, but a lot of people here have pointed out that if you are a diehard Vikings fan, you will tolerate, you just keep fighting for, you will not stop the fight and not stop believing. So it was kind of funny, but
that's true because Viking, right? They never win, right?
I think they never win.
Sometimes. I don't know. I don't want to say that. Sorry.
It's a source of like burning internal rage for a lot of people.
But listen, the women's basketball team, right? The Lynx is
like the Lynx are next level. God bless
Lizz's
that.
Sister, she's obsessed with the Lynx, so.
We all are. That Cheryl Reeve, their coach, that bitch is a badass. She is not fucking around. The team is awesome.
Who are the twins? What are they called? There's the
twins?
There's like two women on the team who are like, they go by something twins.
I don't know.
God damn it. I can't remember. Anyway, but Abby Barlow and her wife. The lesbians of Massachusetts, because we got
the
a lot of them
lesbians
out
of
here too.
Massachusetts loves them some WNBA.
Hell yeah, they do.
In New York. I live really close to where the stadium where the New York Liberty play. And when it was the finals a couple of years ago and it was the Liberty and the Lynx in the game, it was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So I just burned a Prince candle and was happy about whatever happened. So,
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I think we might have a friend in common, but a dear friend of ours is Casey St. Ange, and I don't know if you know her.
Oh,
but,
no way!
Yeah.
I love Casey.
We do too. She and Matt, her husband, are just like
She's the best.
She's
She
a
is the
dear,
best.
dear friend of
Casey's
mine.
great. Yeah, she is. They have been utter champions on all the stuff. And there is no greater Prince fan than Casey
I
St.
know.
Ange.
That's why I
Oh
thought of her
my
immediately. I was
God.
like,
Yes.
I have. If no one can mention Prince, I'm not allowed. I have to mention Casey immediately then, and then I have to text her and I
100%.
say, guess what? Someone just mentioned Prince.
Yes, 100%. That is exactly correct.
So yes. Oh, well, you know what? You probably have to wrap it up. We probably have to wrap it up. Lou, do you wanna speak at all or say anything? I feel bad that we've
Can you hear me? Can you hear me speaking right now?
We can.
You can?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Hi. I love listening to you two
Hi,
talk.
Lou.
Hi.
I know. It's been a crazy technical whirlwind here.
We've been doing the podcast for 3 years, and we've done really a handful of interviews. So we had seen your name in like one of Jason Narducci's posts, and then she reached out to you because we were just frozen. We couldn't do anything after the whole Minneapolis thing really paralyzed us because I don't know what to say. I don't want to promote myself. I don't want to do anything other than talk about this because it's a culmination of a lot of anxiety for me that I've had since 2016 and the sort of inevitability of this harebrained horse shit.
Oh, he's
Do you
gone
know what he
again.
said?
I have
Can I
no
respond to
idea.
it?
I have no idea what he said. I'm so sad. Okay, there he is.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Okay. When you come back in, Lou, you come back in super clear.
Yeah.
And then it's like you just fade away into
know.
some wild ass distance.
Is it our female energy? Is it like
I-
we're not trying? We're not trying to disappear you. It's just, we're powerful bitches, man. I don't know.
I prefer to be sort of just an observer to this, actually. Because I feel like when I start talking, I get very what we're talking about and the level of anxiety that it creates with me makes it hard for me to complete my sentences, and I'm just very grateful for people like yourself, Liz, who are just really the bravery that's there, and it gives me so much hope, and it means a lot.
Well, I'm just thrilled. I'm just glad to talk to you, and it's just also really great. Like I'm super glad you reached out, Adele and Lou. I've loved you forever, and and when Adele, you were like, I think we have some mutual friends. I was like, clearly we do, and I was like, the first person I thought of was Paulson, and then I was like, oh wait, I bet there's so many other people as well, and then the surprise of Casey, and just like, I feel like good talented people always know good talented people. And so that makes me feel really warm inside and happy. I'm so glad you reached out because, it's like we all have our little thing that we do. And sometimes I think that like we do the things we love and then we're happy people enjoy them. But then when you find out like how much of a difference it can make in people's lives when you sometimes just get to do it because you love it, like that's to me the magic. That's the magic. That's the whole thing. And so I've never wanted to try to do any kind of activism that didn't involve like my creative self because I think that gives people an entry point and also just a fun point to understand like, let's fuck with these people with how we know how. Because we're all lucky enough to be able to do it. So like, don't leave everything on the field. as the kids say, somehow. I think that's a proper use of that phrase, but I'm not sure.
I'm going to embarrass Lou for a second and tell you about, I don't know if you know, but he has a solo album that came out during the pandemic called Reason to Live. And
Yeah.
I really want you to hear it. And it's like his political songs to Donald Trump and what was happening. And I think that he did it in such a way that, it's not, and I love Bruce Springsteen doing Streets of Minneapolis. That's amazing. And that's a very overt, named political song. But there's also people like doing things in ways that are not so overt, like Lou's album.
Yes.
He has songs that, lyrics that to me are, honey, you gotta, what's that one song? When you're talking about Trump and pointing finger guns, like, can you just say some of your lyrics to Liz right now? Because I think they're so profound. Please do it for me.
Oh my God, are you literally doing that to Lou? Lou,
I am. I have to because they're so good.
Here's what I'm going to ask. Play the song in the episode.
It took your fortune to be here. That doesn't mean you were ordained. Pointing finger gun, you amplify. You soak your truth in blood and justify. You must be terrified. I heard you were caught between the deed and word, out there making such a stir, and hate what we've become. Before you listen to your heart as it sped and felt unsafe, well, don't you know that fate will tease you, leave you in this sorry state? Where's your faith? I heard you were caught between the deed and word, out there making such a stir, and hate what we've become. Until there's blood, it's understood that nothing means the thing it should, and no one's ever out for good, so nothing good gets done. Privatize and buy your freedom. Privatize and buy your freedom.
I mean, I'm with you. Like the Springsteen song is great.
It's great.
the nail
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
head.
Just
But also
no hate.
Princess Uptown
Yeah.
is like about the neighborhood that all the shit
Yeah.
was happening, and we could have just played Uptown constantly. And so, I don't know.
No.
So,
Yeah, I just
I'm
want to make it clear. I'm not
appreciative
hating at all. I'm simply
No,
saying
no, no.
that,
I got you.
it's,
I got you.
Yeah.
Look, I got you. Yeah.
But,
I think that's
yeah.
great. I think that I'm so appreciative of all of that, because let me tell you what, it's sometimes lonely out there. It was for a while, when you just got blackballed for like doing it. And I was like, I don't care. I left the Daily Show because it was like, they kept saying, you're not an activist. And I was like, yes, I am.
Wow.
Like, and if it's just a comedy show, I'm not just a comedy person. And like, so fine, good shows are that are like beholden to corporate shit. We've seen it with Steven and Jimmy and everybody else. It's kind of like,
Damn, no
I
kidding.
feel really lucky to be in a time where we have lots of ways to communicate that people can't control. And that has felt incredibly freeing. I'm sure you feel that way too. It's kind of like, thank God for podcasts.
Yeah, they didn't plan on this when they've been putting their little plan together for the last 50 years. They did not. I mean, everything that they've worked on for this last, most of my life, I've watched it happen. But now that it's all, they're finally in control and they have the power. But
No.
they didn't predict the way that people can communicate. And I don't think they predicted how brave people will actually be, as evidenced by
100%.
what's happening in Minnesota, which is really helps me. It helps me like hold on to my anxiety. It levels me out, in a time when I didn't think I would be doing so well right now. I thought I would. I worry about my mental health.
For sure.
I mean, really, I feel like I've lived in this prolonged anxiety. I mean, since the first time they threw me into the church basement and showed me a garbage can full of fetuses, in a rattling film projector.
The silent
in the basement.
scream.
I'm like, this is wrong.
Yes.
And I knew that when I was.
I'm the same way, Lou. Brought up Catholic. That propaganda at me constantly, and not to. Well, yeah, I'm going to bring it back. And the onus on the punishment of girls. Mm-hmm. Always, as though I didn't get pregnant from a vibrator ever in all of my life. I can guarantee you that never happened. So, I was Jessica. Do you know Jessica Williams? She was a correspondent on The Daily Show, and now she's on that show, Shrinking, black woman. Mm-hmm. She's a great actor and a great comedian. And I did some kind of fundraiser with her, and she told the story. She was brought up in some kind of Christian-y, Baptist-y church, and she had to apologize to the church for having sex outside of wedlock, and the guy that she had sex with didn't have to do anything. So nobody ever knew who it was. She just had to apologize and shame herself. And that's the kind of shit where it's just like the rage of the rage. But I do hope, or part of my hope in all of this, and then I'll let y'all go, is seeing people have each other's back. Again, coming to Minnesota is a greater good for all of us who have anxiety and feel very scared in these times. Seeing communities of people have the backs of other people lets you know someone's got your back, right? And that in this, it's happening. Because I think with politicians not having our back, so it feels, knowing that community does, and it's kind of all we have, and we're stepping up. Lean into that, man. Lean into that, everybody, because people do. If you just ask for it, people will show up now, I think, more than they would have before.
And then it ended. No, it actually went on for a while. They talked for a while after that. Thank you for listening to this special edition of Raw Impressions. Oh, thank God women are here to take care of things. Men really kind of go off. They go off the hook. They're hysterical. Hyster means female. Hysterical. Fallopian tubes were named after a Catholic priest who found them. He found them. He discovered them. Like fucking Columbus for your body. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not digging the patriarchy so much right now. I'm not. Anybody else? Just feeling a little bit, just wondering.